OKFM 101.7.
Maminko lawyer Kwame Adofo na me ne no entwetwe enkomo na ye ni nkomo mfa ensem bi a ehum hiama oman law memoachi o
ye ni o
na mbom te sen bajo mbom te sen
but o voice no wa chipa o menti
bajo mbom te sen
me wo yo na so e
ni so boko pa
o di ntia o phone o voice we twisa
yi kafra ebeba eho wa obonse na epeja na aba why
okay
yo law and the Ghanaian point at the story be about say like father like son press prosecutors. The Kwame Adofo fires AG and Office of the Special Prosecutor. Say said the Jantian san or Banetie. Na womo de say no womo ye say obe prosecutor obi kura no a this what the aba papers mu ansa no prosecutor mu asemi sana aka no
amini am sure chief yes sana mekano anything press conferences moyen we be one want here you will be innocent until being proven guilty. A presumption via the constitutional guarantee. So the court the people were a man to say with the bill. Then we almost said yes to be proven guilty. Now there were several instances both of them over to your press conference actually prejudice the case, even before you have been charged or you have been given an opportunity. That is wrong. And only in the Zubaini we share USB. The same thing with regards to rather conduct payroll fraud or payroll audit. And anything. What do you want to say? Corruption and corruption related. The one investigation every year was a charge of ABCD with this offense. Finish. Whether he's guilty or not is not a matter for you. It's a matter for the court.
Now, Loy, Ebia me age. Me person man who say, and near maybe a name of my dream kissing me. No, midway the court, midway the court. Now, say me, Kaiser or ye. Press conference bi church niam bi mu saa edubuahin issue here and that's what court you church mu say ni wahunu na no mama ni hu a say enkoka say obi nka say wo ba ye kwa wanya adwuma na emu wa ma na hu say wo the way court and boni be na wo mu
me the way court and I say me the way be court is different from the way court.
Okay
aha aye no so ma charge you Mr. OA I have na dubuahin. So ABCD to court. Full stop. You don't go to the state say so be can say with you. Now what you know say me babe what say why is I say wabra won charge no kura. I don't think on that basis the man Mr. Dubois as so you for the probation. Then when so you are charging with ABC to say somebody has been charged alone. It's not defamatory. What did you make up?
Me too, pa.
To say that Kwame Adofo has been charged with an offense of A, and you stop there, you haven't defamed him. Now, to the extent of describing his conduct in a way that people will start thinking less of him. What did you mean? That is where he crosses the line.
Okay. Sanity.
Yes. No. We are okay. Look, the investigation we have charged Mr. A with offense of XYZ, and it is before the court. Fine, you stop there. Don't be saying no. Then move on the whole man to the say, even before you have charged the person. That will give the person a basis for them to sue you. So good in the massive. So what is the record?
Me too, pa.
It's almost pattern of behavior in the father and son behavior. A they're so wrong. You see, we are now the presumption of innocence.
But say now can say Kisia Jaben wa ye adwuma ewo ye Dr. Ayeni Attorney General no ni chambers pen enti as like father like son the Ayeni eye no enua bia nseso na eye wono owura Kisia Jaben special prosecutor so eye
na Kwame
Miwa
do mu ye no ezebi wana
Ndebi ndem susenim
so what is the problem? It's the same thing no more.
But we didn't say man public office as Attorney General, public office as special prosecutor. It to do baby na one man for a hunia waya uni say periodically special prosecutor or publish it and near my would go so air your nominee at the idea. And nobody ben and Kewomu or Mamma say
Bonini. But you have to do it after the fact. Dear my Yenny, and then dear me, Baby Yenny. So, what did I say?
Me too,
or payroll fraud audit, and a payroll auditor. What does that mean? Now, no special prosecutor was a MPA or Bako or Babe investigate or Bobo Hamid needing. It's where the other woman for one. You know evidence here. Then the
see.
Yes. And that is wrong. That's not the way you do investigation. So
acquire some ya me say me baba beto Rolls Royce. Any Bugatti abum. A different from that.
The price of the cost so straight.
Wow.
Because it say Kwame Nkrumah ticket here with Kapa. It when you go Baba to the you increase your price no.
Wow.
Put get into one amount for best no. And you are 30,000, it's 40,000. You don't do that. You don't for telecast what you are going to do. The way you say, you do your investigation. You charge the person. What charge you for every? Then you do your press conference. We have today charged Mr. So and so with an offense of XYZ. Why you say I say. And on Monday he's going to court. He's going to be put before the court. That's how you do it. What kind of behavior is it?
Mami Musa Assembly, the Kaiser Special Prosecutor on the matter of Honorable Kenoforiata. Near in charge no or declare no wanted. And on the side the idea na be a press conference and only the idea a do baby crown or sabe a press conference say a judge in one or the case crown overboard. Sani men now so can the came.
Exactly. So over the Kenoforiata. Who here Kenoforiata? Legally no. Ken doesn't have to even help you to build your case against you. Second day, the Wajimiama, over now. Let us know. No, my answer now. No, I charge you.
You wouldn't be a friend. So now, I'm comfort to palm a bonnet to a cramedia, a toy. Name of Taha. What do you mean, Titana?
What do you mean, Titana? Let me go and what we have a body at you. I mean, what kind of world is it? Eh? Meanwhile, a man say you. Now, but over interview, you are supposed to caution him, and you have Miranda right. And you can say you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say may be used against you. I'm not talking.
And yes, I cannot invite you on crowd
at all. At all. What was not sure for a macho? That's all. We're a big man. We're King Kong. Oh, Kuma. When you're in love with Prosecutor, charge the guy. And then we are charging him with the offense of XYZ, and we are going to put him before the court. One of Kenoforiata will have to come and defend himself. They were even trial in absentia. That's what the people wanted. So one said, nothing would change. And he's entitled to say, I'm not talking.
Now, hello, Obia Attorney General, I'm going to call you in a court. na ana special prosecutor abon ko aduna ko gina court nipa ko wo dru court wa why na provide the evidence to prosecute the accused.
Mami ma practical example. Why me? We have a charge you to commit offense. You are not saying anything at all, and so much proof of case baby. You are also lawyer first year submission of no case to answer.
Okay.
It would be no thought you would normal from witness A, we are consulting witness B, we are consulting witness C. Only we are not a lawyer is there. I don't want to buy any. We are going to make a submission of no case to answer. So you can even remain our court. You don't have any obligation to talk to anybody because the man said we did them. Almost never prove we are guilty. Nasadia, what is all this noise?
Metwasia, enam se emrano ana court ni prove me say me guilty or otherwise no. Eni so de me back court of public opinion by your press conference.
Thank you. The moment I did the court of public opinion now, what would anyone say? First you go to court, let the court now find guilty. I feel now that you blame court to know. What's the theorem up? What's the court now up? Oh, I don't think that you don't go court now, not court again. Court let down on court and yaka. And you give and a new play. And you give because the law some case is so bad, so poor. It's about watching me balance in the court. Exactly. Now if you want to be stronger, why do you need press conference?
Yewo enkoko na judge bi wo me body di enkofo be mba me mundi. Obi kwotwe obi board ya. Wa mo chi na mo va ni ko police station. Wa mo di ko judge ni fie cause judge wadawruma akwa twabo akwotwe obi board ye ni ko police station enche ni ba ho ntie de ma henani so na wa hweli he.
I didn't want to tell you. Yeah, don't if you go out there, it is always any player bonia. You let the tax sheet about cash sheet talk for you as Attorney General. It is not so way I don't really cash sheet no. I'm a media. Then the media will be saying, oh, yes, you are charging Mr. A with A, B, C, D. You are charging Mr. B with E, F. But you don't come and hold the press conference. What is this? Because what himself as a man, it is court of public opinion. Hello, did you
now, Lord, Mamimra Assembly so the action towards the removal of the Chief Justice by the President, you know, many legal talks be brave. A bit almost one. And now say president no one year legal person no in exercising 146 no hono esesenka yenya emrebia act bia ebefa procedures and format bi and ede beye anase ese yenya bibia ebe regulated the action no one ena ebinum se da bi enya maaye no one said the constitution can and one president no so wadi so and no so we ya issue a woman dey say jante the process of removing the chief justice no so was thrown overboard by the apex court and come away legally o tough ni say
article 146 I can should be read together with 296 I think it is. And they say, you will be a quasi judicial function. I say, who would be part 10 or Mrakwansu? Quasi judicial function. And it's all making quasi decisions, and you are not a judge, then you need a regulation to back you up.
Sure.
So it's either you are a judge and you know all the principles of natural justice and so on and so on. Say you have the right to, you have to give him the right to be heard and so on. But when you judge, you may not know natural justice principles and so on. So you may make a decision which is legally flawed. And you say where you are making decisions which involve which involves exercising discretionary power. Then you must be a judge, or you must have a regulation to guide you. If you know the decision whether there's a case for the Chief Justice to answer, it's a quasi decision that you are making. Quasi judicial function, because you are making a determination that you have a case to answer.
296 C in the Constitution was it where the person or the authority is not a judge or other judicial officer, there shall be published by constitutional instrument or statutory instrument regulations that are not inconsistent with the provisions of this Constitution, that other law to govern the exercise of the discretionary power. Nature say now other than as for mine any statutory instrument and answer constitutional instrument and regulations to guide that process. It is a new one now wafa 146 in here. Send you differ.
Well, but it doesn't make it legal. I say we'll be a bonnet all the time. Yes, no one day why bonnet. We'll be supposed to bonnet. When something that is a nullity has been repeatedly done, not to be challenger. It doesn't mean that the fact that it has not been done means that it's now law.
Okay.
Once it's challenged, they look at it at the time it's being challenged. Yeah, they say whether it's lawful or not. Now, in terms of the correct interpretation,
296 now, when we see word be shall.
Correct. There are key words to be what. You have to be careful when you are reading either an act of parliament or the Constitution. Shall, must, may. These are key words. Shall, must, may. Shall is compulsory, mandatory.
Yes.
Must, compulsory. May. Opa. It is so, and I'm not the people who are raising an argument about you see, the decision whether there's a case to answer in the case of Charlotte Say was not made by a politician. It was made by a judge. So that quasi decision was made by a judge. That falls within the provisions of 296. But in the case of now Chief Justice, the determination whether there's a case for her to answer was made by a politician who is not a judge. So what's the difference,
Matthias?
So those who are comparing Charlotte Affair to the Chief Justice, they are wrong, clearly wrong, because one was made, or one, in the case of one, the issue of whether there is a prima facie case or another case for her to answer.
Lowe, Mami Musadie, what went into it? Sir, President received petition now. What the Council of State? Council of State, one judicial body to establish a prima facie case. Constitutionally, no one more famous, no, at the end of this hard in shame.
Well, look, in fact, me because I'm not in their head. Most of them are dead anyway. But answer anything. Obi Odoka say, Council of State and the make it prima facie case, they are clearly wrong. They are wrong again. See, prima facie case is not made by the prima facie case, and now whether there's a case to answer, it's not made by the what's it called? For body now, you won't need to be a
Council of State.
Council of State. That decision is made by the president, and this is why. Supreme Court, I interpret to say, advice from Council of State is not binding on the president. What I put to was a foot president an offer. It is a foot there. It means that the ultimate decision is made by the president. If you over because then council no, they are wrong again. They cannot be you through a foot near. Yeah, crime offensive decision is not made by the council. It's made by the president. And the reason is because Supreme Court to say Council of State the only money you put to President power on fat or power on fat is not binding on the president. It means that any decision so made is that of the president.
Papa, sir, the president and amount what to upon receiving the petition or the command a Council of State na afiyati abejekua obebo omenimu ya suspending near the was the president performing a constitutional duty and answer governance duty no pay for me?
That's a good question. Was he performing a constitutional duty? The constitution says yes. However, in exercising his discretion, he got it wrong because he ought to have been guided by a legislation. So that's the
296 Nakahwasem.
296 Nakahwasem, yes.
Right. Okay. No, Mammy, no, I said, now you're near Ebeko. Per the suspension and na one really said you are no Justice Buff Bonnie or acting your friend say Attorney General no what Chief Justice no obet me at committee ni should be no but obi argument he say he is the ultimate beneficiary of the outcome of the year ebeba no and no would you say your thoughts on the ruling? Winning, you will be there.
Hello.
If I told you also.
You will be there in law. You cannot say appearance of bias, apprehension of bias. Not only must justice be done, it must also be seen to be done. And the means is becoming. I said a year Juma, and I said a new person who said the pay. I hear Juma, and I'm uncanny.
Sanity.
Sabia, at the moment, Constitution is clear. Say the Chief Justice, in the absence of Chief Justice, the most senior judge will act as the Chief Justice. Most of the time, no, the Chief Justice require automatically, the next senior will just be acting. But where it has been brought to your attention, say, senior, and I said, my lord, because you said you are benefiting. You have an interest. If the case goes against us, it will benefit you. Then naturally, as we will say, even though he himself may not be biased, but it will not be seen as not being biased. So because of that, you know, register issues where potentially you have an interest in the case. Because the court and the court, they can say, oh, what interest will be? Oh, those are ruling here. Only to protect his job, his position as the acting CG. It's in cases like this where potentially somebody can raise an issue of conflict of interest. It's better you get somebody else to sit on the panel. It's a message here so move here. Am I really here? Because
I'm call to say one way apart from say one say Justice Buff Bonnie and Capano no now one way one able to say will be say Justice Kwame Adofo Obusano Emma one see I know say only there is indifferent about it.
But my view.
I'm see apart from Ombusa judge no busa almost say. So almost say ma justice Bafo Boni and Maso. Okay, wa Maso a obi say justice Puamanu ni nipa bi a omo wo so no so omo say membership of the Supreme Court no. Wo mo ye okay with them. And no yes and the enya bibia and attention was so.
Menti person la view.
One more now was one more can say the ultimate beneficiary of the ruling ebe justice Bafuboni the acting and one was answer sana more kadia one more other Supreme Court judges are more committee no so no one was that one Supreme Court judges no anya ban yi na eyi one certified with them
look. You see, sitting on a committee is different from sitting as a court. My more example, General Legal Counsel, you can sit there as a member of the committee. Are we a Supreme Court judge? But that doesn't make that committee a court. And that decision can be passed by ordinary high court. Maybe our judge or Supreme Court judges. As Robert form Emrana, everything the high court of the party. For example, if there is a breach of natural justice, it being a member of the committee doesn't make the committee a court.
Oh, okay.
No. The committee is not a court.
Because what would be a judgment or ruling?
Okay. They will write a decision, but that decision is not a judgment. That decision
it's not binding on anyone and any party.
It's a committee's decision.
Okay.
But it's not a court decision. That is the difference.
Okay.
So you can bring that decision to the High Court and quash it.
Oh, okay.
So what are here?
Matthias,
even though Supreme Court judges, if they get it wrong, you can bring it to the High Court and have it quashed.
Oh, wow.
Because they are not sitting as a court. They are sitting as a committee. Different.
Papa,
so Mama who's the Supreme Court judge? And I say higher Superior Court judges. A Supreme Court judge can even come and sit as additional High Court.
Yeah.
It is a Supreme Court judge, but trust a High Court judge. That's a decision he gets it wrong. Right? You can question the decision, even though he's a Supreme Court judge. But at the time of what sitting, he's sitting as a High Court. That is the difference.
Papa, Mamimra 296, Article 296 of the Constitution, see where the person or authority is not a judge or a judicial officer, there shall be published by constitutional instrument or statutory instrument regulations that are not inconsistent with the provisions of this constitution or that other law to govern the exercise of the discretionary power. Enti ahai 296 now, okay, say it must be read together with the 146 no. Say president now only legal officer no. It is say now for me constitutional duty and I say governance issue no way. When amano onye legal person no and onye judge no na ye constitutional and be instrument to be to guide the process no. Man penny I am from so.
And until that amount for a court because about for to say why I am from so about for to say one year from so court in a circle. Because previous cases no Supreme Court where the discretion, essence of discretion involve a quasi judicial function or discretion. Yes, then the person must be a judge or there must be a regulation.
Okay. No, my man was no pay. Once one count lawyer Kwame Adofo and I didn't think a private legal practitioner and then they can come 101.7 soon now.
OKFM 101.7.